Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson. Welcome again to my channel. It is September 15th of 2025, 9:28 in the a.m. Let's say it together. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Man, Monday. Da, 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 da. Yesterday, this man got an endorsement from the one and only Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York. To some, it's not surprising. She said that she had several meetings with him over a period of time, and even though they disagree on a few issues, they are lockstep in making New York more affordable. Yay! I know, right? Wouldn't that be beautiful if all 50 states adopted that mission? Star Trek mission? People, what if I told you that this New York situation is part of a chaos scenario? A chaos scenario. I have been saying to you guys, look out for this guy. He is the modern day Barack Obama, yet he is the modern day Robert Kennedy. And Robert Kennedy was taken out after JFK. Now, arguably, what has happened in this last week, we just had, let me pull this up, because I want you guys to get the picture mentally as I speak to this thing, okay? Arguably, what has transpired is the unalive of this man. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me yesterday and said that they're related by the numbers, that there's a connection. I wonder why I only got 2,000 views on this thing. People that don't make no sense. So I wonder what's really going on. But people, I'm telling you, this is a treasure, because something's about to happen. Life seasons and cycles. The powers know. They know how to bend time and space, people. I'm going to keep it real. They know how to make things happen. They know how to talk future past. And I believe I understand how they speak. This man and this man are related. They're connected in so many ways. Then on the way home yesterday, after going to Charlie Kirk's memorial, the Holy Spirit is like, Pearson, Charlie is connected to JFK in another fashion, but you forgot to put it in the video. And what is that? JFK is buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Arlington National Cemetery, Lot 45. Trump is the 45th president. Well, I was in Arlington Heights yesterday because that's where he was born. That's right. This man was born in Arlington Heights, Illinois, where he's buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Come on, man. Watch this video. You'll see some connection. You'll see him. Okay, you'll see him. Which brings me back to this here. This man here, he's the modern day Bobby Kennedy as well, which is, of course, the brother of JFK. See, this is in the spiritual realm. I see it in the spiritual realm. And if my logic is right, they've already shown us him in 1963, November 22nd of 1963, they unalived him. And if they're connected the way I see it in the spirit realm, now he's gone. Where if he's the modern day Kennedy, in a sense, then who's his brother, in a sense? If this is Jack Kennedy, where's Bobby? That's Bobby. Oh, it's so deep. It's so deep. Now, I'm going to break this thing down because they want to bring some chaos, the powers. I said the powers want to bring chaos. And I want to show you what I think is going to be another shooter drop. It might be the next shooter drop. Okay? So let me begin.
Has landed a key endorsement in the race for New York City mayor.
Governor Kathy Hochul now says she is backing the Democratic Socialists over a field that includes her former boss, Andrew Cuomo. Christina Fan joins us live from City Hall with more on the endorsement and a look at where the race stands now. Christina.
Cindy and Chris, good morning. After distancing herself from Zohran Mamdani for most of his campaign, Governor Kathy Hochul is now suddenly throwing her support behind the Democratic frontrunner. She says she had a series of frank conversations with the Queens Assembly member and, despite their disagreements, found a leader who shares her commitment on making New York City more affordable. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is the latest big-name Democrat to endorse Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, revealing her support in a New York Times opinion piece Sunday night. Writing, "The question of who will be the next mayor is one I take extremely seriously, and to which I have devoted a great deal of thought. Tonight, I am endorsing Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani." The endorsement comes as a recent New York Times Siena College poll shows Mamdani widening his lead in a four-man race, with former Governor Andrew Cuomo coming in second, followed by Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa and Mayor Adams in last.
Now let's look at these numbers. They're showing 46. Well, a lot of times things are symbolic, people. Okay? 46 versus 24 for Cuomo is 22. Remember, Barack Obama got that V in his head. The 22nd letter of the alphabet is V. And V is destruction. But 46 is also destruction. Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, he died at 46. George Orwell, George Floyd, and JFK, they all died at 46. They're speaking to a future. They already got him. Listen to me real good. They already got him. Now they're speaking. Isn't that funny that they would do this? People, they're speaking. Now listen to the rest of this here.
Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa and Mayor Adams in last.
Well, it's a political calculation. We know that.
Political strategist Arif Halaby says Hochul's endorsement isn't necessarily a surprise and comes this late in the race, likely because she was waiting to see if any of the other candidates, primarily Adams and Cuomo, would drop out first.
But I think throughout this weekend and throughout this last week, it's been clear that one of them will not lead the race. And so the clear winner, at least in her estimation, is probably Mr. Mamdani.
Hochul wrote that making New York more affordable is a primary goal she shares with Mamdani.
Now, I want you to look at this here. You know, guys, I really look at the background. What struck me was this here. Is it a geese or a duck? If it's a duck, duck can go a lot of ways. Like quack, quack, or duck. You're walking down the street, you hear something, you better duck. Duck. Okay? We're gonna go there. I said we're gonna go there. Duck. Duck comes out to 24. The 24th letter of the alphabet is X. That means they take you out. But suppose it's a geese. If it's a geese, it's that 22 and 94. The 94th day of the year is April 4th. Barack Obama is the 44th president. I think it's the duck. I think they're speaking without speaking. To me, this is how the powers speak. 24, that means you're taken out, eliminated, X. Now watch this here.
City mayoral race.
In a New York Times op-ed, she said she had frank conversations with him in the past few months and had disagreements, but she characterized him as a leader who shares her commitment to the future of the city. And we've all been sitting around debating this issue, guys, this morning about her decision to do this, what it means. We're all wondering whether Eric Adams is going to step down or take himself out of the race.
Would that mean Cuomo would win or still not?
I think it'd be hardly a toss-up even there. I think you'd have to get Sliwa out of the game as well before you'd even have a neck and neck kind of race. And so the question.
By the way, Cuomo told us last week when he was here that if anybody wanted to be off the ballot, I think they had to do it. There was some question around it, but it was potentially by last week.
By last week. So the other thing is, it's possible the name is still on the ballot. That confuses the voter to begin with. I don't know what's going on here. I will say, I was in shock last week. I still am in shock about this one. I don't know if you saw it. He doubled down. This was about, I think, on Friday, in an interview with the New York Times, that if Netanyahu were to come to New York, by the way, could come to New York to go speak at the UN or something else, that he would have the New York PD, the NYPD, arrest him, which would put him, by the way, in direct conflict with the federal government, which of course doesn't acknowledge, he said that he's a war criminal, doesn't acknowledge the international.
Can you imagine Madami arresting Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel? Listen to this again. This is big. This is big. Please share this. This is big. They're seeding the atmosphere. And right now, of course, everybody's looking at this. Everybody's looking at this. Getting ready for the funeral. Getting ready. People, I know you guys are busy. The Lord pulled me, stopped working around 64 years old. I'm 66 now. I understand more and more every week, every month, every quarter why he told me to retire. I can barely keep up. It's so much. But while we doing this, there's a lot of other things going on. While we looking at this Charlie Kirk, a lot of stuff going on. And I'm telling you right now, a main attraction is about to hit in New York. Do you feel me? I want you to read between the lines.
This was about, I think, on Friday, in an interview with the New York Times, that if Netanyahu were to come to New York, by the way, could come to New York to go speak at the UN or something else, that he would have the New York PD, the NYPD, arrest him, which would put him, by the way, in... People, listen to me real good. I informed you guys at the beginning of this video. This is part of the chaos scenario. The powers have multiple scenarios going on. Multiple. When it comes down to this Middle East situation between Palestine and Israel, you cannot move 1 million people without thinking that you won't have repercussions. You are not going to move 1 million people. And America is in the middle of this. Whether people want to believe the media or not, that Trump took his hands off. Trump ain't never took his hands off. He showed his you-know-what when he made that video a few months ago, Trump Gaza. He ain't took his hands off. I don't care what country, what nation it is, you are not going to move 1 million people without repercussions. We have got to have targeted prayer. That's why I keep preaching. Don't get caught up in all these distractions. Let me do this and I'll inform you guys what's going on. But you focus on getting right, staying right, getting ready for the flight. Jesus is coming soon. Ain't no way in hell we're going to be able to do all this. People, something going to pop sooner or later is what I'm saying. This man talking about arresting him? You are not going to put that kind of clarion call out like that and run for mayor. Listen to me real good. You're not going to put that out there. People, look, you're dealing with power. I did a video a few months ago in relation to the Speaker of House Johnson and found out the most influential bloc
and money contribution to the Speaker of the House was Israel. We ain't talking about chump change. I don't know who's the most prominent or close of kin than Israel other than Britain. People, this man got to be a special kind of disconnected politician to sit up there and tell people that he would have the New York PD grab Netanyahu and people. You know good and well this ain't nothing but a cartoon. The world is much smaller when you mess with somebody like that. Where you gonna live at? There's gonna be repercussions. Just like it's gonna be repercussions when you move 1 million people out of Palestine. Look, I'm just a realist. I love the country, but I can differentiate between foolishness. They setting up scenarios. Just want to teach you what's popping off. Now look at this here. Governor Herschel, she put this in the New York Times. Their founding date is September 18th. I find that interesting. You know why? Because when I ran this video on this gentleman, the watch that he got on, and you'll see about it, his watch says 9/17. That's right. He got a watch on. I'll show you. It say 9/17. So is there a date coming up where something gonna pop off? I'm just keeping it real. So 9/18, Kathy Herschel spoke. Well, this is when New York Times was founded. 9/18. Now watch this. 9/18/2024, their last birthday. 9/14, the governor of New York, Kathy Herschel, op-ed. The difference is 5/14. What is 5/14? That's when Israel became a nation. See, once you learn how they talk, you know what's coming. You think they don't know what's coming? You think allegedly they're not part of this scenario? They're telling you what's about to happen. There's about to be some tragedy. What are the odds? The anniversary of the newspaper that she spoke in versus yesterday come out to the day that Israel became a nation, May 14th. Come on, man. Stop playing.
And Mayor Mamdani, would you welcome Prime Minister Netanyahu to New York City for whatever he comes for, given the US is not a signatory to the ICC, so he can travel to the US, unlike a lot of other countries. Would a Mayor Mamdani welcome Benjamin Netanyahu to the city?
No. As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Even though the US...
People, I want you to see it. I want you to look at Bobby Kennedy, his brother. Kennedy Light just got taken out. You know your history. Next was Bobby. I'm telling you. Here's a video I produced 8 days ago, and I did about 2 more in relation to this man. Listen.
Zohran, Time magazine, 9/8/2025. Like I said, I was downtown to cover a story about a heist at a jewelry store, the Rolex watch company. Just so happened in Time magazine from 9/8/2025, he's got on a watch. When I checked out Mark 88 about 10 days ago, he ran a video that he used in part from a guy named Donut, and Donut claims that the watch says 9/17. Look out for the date 9/17, and I put that in my last video. But every time I tried to show this man's face, as I was trying to do this live, my video cut off, so I stopped showing his face. Why? I'm gonna show you maybe why it happened. Because because I got to thinking. This man's on Time magazine with a watch. I've said to you guys many times this year, Satan gets off on lifting people up so he can take them down. He took Jesus to the mountain, and I'm sure he took a slew of other people to the mountain. If you look at a lot of our entertainers, in a symbolic sense, they have been gone to the mountain. A lot of them end up what? In the grave. Or one of their relatives end up in the grave. And that's just how Satan rolls. He lifts you up to take you down. But I'm going to tell you, I believe they're going to have another July 13th situation. And it's going to be fake.
It's going to be fake. It's going to be fake because it's the chaos. Now, here's another clue that I threw up. Remember, Giuliani 2 weeks ago was in an auto accident, the former mayor of New York. All of a sudden, they got him. Watch this here.
Look at this here. Remember the other day? Giuliani had an accident, a car accident. Remember that? To his right, there's Ronald Reagan. To his left is Jesus. Sacrifice, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, there was an attempt on his life back in the day. Jesus was a sacrifice. This man was just in a car accident. He's the former mayor of New York. Watch this.
They speak through events. Many events they make up. Trust me.
That's his birthday, May 28, 1944. Take May 28, 2026, his next birthday. 10/18/2025 is Zohran's birthday, the guy who just won the primary in New York for mayor. The difference is 7/13. What happened on 7/13? On July 13th of last year, Trump, they say, got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania.
What are the odds, people, that you would take the former mayor's birthday, subtract it from Zohran's birthday, and you get the day that Trump got hit in the ear? If this was the day they tried to unalive Trump, what do you think they speak into the future? Do you understand what I'm saying now? Let's wrap it up. That's his birthday, October 18th. 9/14 is when Governor Kathy Hochul endorsed him. 10/18 is his birthday. The difference is 46. Like I said before, George Floyd, George Orwell, and JFK all died at 46 years old. They speaking, baby. Look, June 24th, 2025, that's when the primary was won by Zohran Madami. Okay, 6/24/2025 primary, 9/14, Kathy Hochul endorsed him. The difference is 222. That's the mark of the beast, or the Antichrist system. Then look, that's her birthday, 8/27. Take 8/27/2026, birthday next year, versus Trump versus the primary, 6/24/2025. The difference is 165. The 165th day of the year is June 14th. That's Trump's birthday. They're speaking. And we're gonna have a lot of unalive people coming up. It's gonna be one after another. It's the birth pains. It's gonna happen. Now look at this here. They're out of New York, right? New York became part of the United States on July 26th. July 26th. Take July 26, 2026, next birthday, 9/14, governor's endorsement date. The difference is 3/16, like John 3:16. John 3:16 says Jesus sacrificed his life. It's a sacrifice coming up, people. It's a sacrifice coming up, but it's gonna be fake. They want to throw us into a chaos. So they have multiple scenarios going on simultaneously. Now, 7/26/2025, New York anniversary, 9/14 again, endorsement date, 50 days in between. That's like 50 states in America. Also look at it like this, 9/15/2025, today, the news is reporting what the governor said. She's going to endorse him versus 11/4 election day for mayor in New York. The difference is 50. Why all these 50s? They speaking, baby. That's why they speaking. Now look at this here. Kathy Hochul assumed office August 24th. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, position 8/24/2021. 8/24/2021. 9/14 yesterday, she endorsed him. The difference is 4/21. What's 4/21? Hello, the Pope made his demise. Isn't that something? And 8/27 is Kathy Hochul's birthday, the governor. 10/18 is Zohran's birthday. The difference is 3/13. What is 3/13? That's when the Pope, that's when he became the Pope. March 13th. They're speaking to all these things which have happened and is about to happen. My name is Franchise Pearson. What a deep video. You want to help the channel, you can. Just go to my site, click on my portrait right here. I have cash. You just go to more, click on more. I have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. There's also a P.O. box. Just take a snapshot of that and send love offering if you can. If you can't, guess what? God bless you. We're okay. I also got a beautiful poetry book. I don't talk about it, but it's called Protect the Gift. Protect the Gift. Beautiful poetry book. You can purchase on Amazon Books. Look it up. Just take a picture of this. Click on Amazon Books right here, and you'll see my book. Beautiful poetry book, and give it as a gift. God bless you. Thank you.